remnants of his guarded pride and bears the truth of his heart. His voice, trembling with both desperation and longing, pleads, "Don't leave me, stay by my side." For the first time, their hearts entwine without disguise, no longer restrained by duty or shadowed by fear. Ji-young answers his affection with equal fire, yet she cannot yield completely, without safeguarding the future she envisions. Meeting his gaze, she lays down her condition. He must vow never to let love curdle into cruelty, never to walk the path of tyranny. Struck by both her devotion and her warning, Lee Hyun swears it, though fate already sharpens cruel tests to challenge that promise. But beyond their fragile solace, shadows stir. Patient until now, Prince Jason moves at last. His long-nurtured ambition for a new era sharpens into ruthless action. By his side stands Lee Hyun's maternal grandmother, still clutching the blood-soaked garment of her murdered daughter. That relic of grief becomes Jason's chosen weapon, proof meant to poison the king's spirit and unravel his reign from within. Meanwhile, another threat festers. Mokju's fixation on Ji-young festers into poisonous obsession. No longer content to watch from afar, she lays her trap. One evening, Ji-young sits quietly, her thoughts drifting to the tender moment when Lee Hyun slipped a ring onto her finger. A soft smile lingers on her lips as she turns it in her hand, but her peace is broken when a messenger arrives, claiming the king wishes to see her. Trusting the summons, she goes, only to realize too late that it is deception. A stranger seizes her, while from the shadows, Prince Jason and Mokju laugh at their apparent triumph. When King Lee Hyun learns of her abduction, fury ignites within him. Desperation fuels his blade as he cuts down countless enemy soldiers in his frantic search. At last, his relentless rage shatters every barrier, and he rescues Ji-young from her captors. Their reunion strengthens their bond, even as it destroys Mokju's carefully woven plan. The failed scheme enrages the Queen Dowager. Once Mokju's shield and ally, she now grows weary of repeated failure. Palace whispers begin to circle. How many more times will Mokju gamble and lose? Her influence wanes, her allies falter, and fear tightens its grip. She realizes the king's vengeance is not the only storm awaiting her. The Dowager's fury may prove just as fatal. Cornered and desperate, Mokju refuses to accept defeat, but in her final bid to reclaim power, she may set into motion the very downfall she has long feared. When Mokju's scheme collapses, she is dragged before King Lee Hyun. Her once proud demeanor crumbles into desperation as she falls to her knees, begging for mercy. Tears streak her face as she pleads, her voice trembling with fear and false remorse. But beneath her bowed head and trembling words, a blade lies hidden. The king, still reeling from the turmoil of rescuing Ji-young, steels himself against her cries. His gaze hardens, torn between justice and pity. As he steps closer, Mokju seizes her chance. With a sudden, venomous resolve, she drives the dagger into his back. Gasps echo through the court. The king staggers, pain blazing across his face, as betrayal sears deeper than the blade itself. Mokju's final act, part desperation, part obsession, marks the height of her treachery. Yet even as she smirks at her strike, she does not realize the storm it will unleash. For the king is not so easily broken, and her last betrayal may seal her fate in blood. As the blade sinks into King Lee Hyun, crimson trickles down his face. Ji-young, horrified by the sight, feels the world spin. Her body goes limp, collapsing into Lee Hyun's arms. Despite the searing pain in his back, the king clutches her tightly, desperate to keep her conscious, whispering her name with trembling urgency. The court erupts into chaos, guards rushing, ministers crying out, and Mokju standing frozen between triumph and terror. For an instant, she believes she has changed the tide, but the horror in the eyes of those round her foretells her doom. It will be gripping to see what becomes of Mokju's fate. Will she face execution for her unforgivable treachery, or will she try once more to twist her way out of judgment? And above all, how will King Lee Hyun, wounded yet unbroken, balance his fragile bond with Ji-young while carrying the scar of this betrayal? While King Lee Hyun battles wounds of betrayal, Prince Jason makes his most ruthless move yet. He seizes upon the king's maternal grandmother, using her grief and the blood-soaked garment of her murdered daughter as his final weapon. With it, he blackmails the Queen Dowager, threatening to expose secrets that could shatter both her power and the king's reign. Now the Dowager stands cornered. If she bows to Jason, she risks betraying her grandson, If she resists, she may lose everything, including the fragile stability of the throne.